hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe. If you're also back, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me again. I am so happy to see you. But if you're new and maybe you like what you see, consider subscribing because we have tons of fun here on this channel. We talk all about makeup and all things beauty. We do reviews, get ready with me's, we do swatches, and we try out new products from time to time. So if that is something that interests you, maybe consider subscribing. But again, no pressure. Just putting it out there in case you like what you see. So in today's video, we are trying out a brand new product on the market, one that I was actually excited to see launch. I was so curious. I was like, all right, I have to try that out. And that is the Milk Makeup Bionic Bronzer. This is a liquid bronzer. And if you asked me a year ago if I would be excited about a product like this, I would have said absolutely not, because I stayed away from liquid and cream products for the longest while because I have oily skin. And older formulations would just be too glowy, too hydrating on my skin, and it would give me a oily, greasy look. But since then, I've been trying out different cream formulations and liquid formulations that actually look pretty good on my skin. So when this launched, I was like, all right, here we go. We have to get it and test it out. So that's what we're trying out in this video today. And I will walk you through the details of this product first of all. And of course, I'll show you the packaging up close as well as give you swatches on my arm. And then we'll jump into a demonstration of this product over bare skin as well as foundation using different application methods. So we'll jump between using my fingers, using a sponge, and using a brush. So if you want to jump ahead or jump around in this video, I will leave timestamps down below so you can choose whichever chapter you're interested in seeing. So let's start out with the details of this product. So as I mentioned, this is the Milk Makeup Bionic Bronzer. It retails for $30 and contains 17 milliliters of product or 0.6 fluid ounce. It is available in 3 different shades, and I went ahead and picked up 2 of the shades. The shades are listed as light bronze, medium bronze, and deep bronze. I got the 2 deeper shades, so I have medium bronze and deep bronze. This is described as a 90% natural, weightless liquid bronzer with skincare benefits that can be dialed up for a warm sun-kissed finish or shared out for a soft, diffused contour. It's infused with hydrating hyaluronic acid, mushroom extracts, and vegan collagen. It is 90% natural, it's vegan, clean, cruelty-free, paraben-free, silicone-free, fragrance-free, and gluten-free. It says for best results, shake well before use, and gently squeeze tube to dispense a small dot of formula. Softly blend into skin with fingertips, brush, or sponge for a sun-kissed bronze. You can add more to build and intensify color, and it can be worn alone or applied seamlessly over other makeup. There are also some key points that I think are worth mentioning from their frequently asked questions. The first one is how to apply this liquid bronzer. They recommend tapping small dots of formula onto your face wherever you'd naturally get some sun, like the tops of your cheeks, the bridge of your nose, and around your hairline. Then blend it in with your fingertips, a makeup sponge, or a brush. Another question is how intense is the color of the Bionic bronzer? And it says here that they formulated this bronzer to have buildable payoff, which means you can wear it sheer for a little warmth or build it up for more of a just back from vacay bronzed glow. It's also asked if the Bionic bronzer has any shimmer in it, and the answer is nope. Bionic bronzer has a matte dewy finish, which to me is like a oxymoron, because how can you have a matte but dewy finish? But let's go on. It has a matte dewy finish without any shimmer, so you can get a super natural looking sun-kissed finish. If you want to add some subtle luminosity to it though, it looks incredible mixed with their Bionic Glow, which is their liquid illuminator. And the last point they address is, why is my Bionic bronzer formula separating? Due to the high natural content of this formula, some variation in viscosity may occur. If this happens, simply shake or massage the tube between your palms before use. And this is a key point for me to note, because I do recommend before each and every use, make sure that you're shaking the tube and massaging it around to make sure that the formula isn't separated before you dispense any product. This product will separate, so make sure that you do that first step before you go ahead and use this product. And with that warning out of the way, let's run through the highlighted ingredients, which include snow mushroom, reishi mushroom, and hyaluronic acid to hydrate and give you smoother looking, plumper looking skin. And they also have vegan plant-derived collagen, which helps improve the look of skin's texture, elasticity, and firmness. And let's go ahead now and quickly show you the packaging of this product. So it comes in your usual Milk Makeup box packaging, which is a little bit more modern and edgy, and I do like the design of their packaging. They have the ingredient details on the box as well as the sizing and manufacturing information. And this says it is vegan and cruelty-free and has an intended usage life of 12 months, which is expected for a liquid product such as this. The box is also color coded at the top just to indicate the shade that is within the box. The product itself is housed in these white plastic squeeze tubes with a screw top dispenser. So there's no nozzle, no dough foot. It is simply a regular squeeze tube. The cap is clear and you can see the color of the product through the Milk Makeup logo that is on the front, which I think is a nice way to show what shade you have in case you pick up multiple shades like I did. You can differentiate between between the shades just by looking at the packaging. And then on the back, you have some more manufacturing details and sizing information. For those that are interested, these products are made in the USA. Now I'm going to show you the swatches of the two shades that I picked up. As I said, I picked up medium bronze and deep bronze, and I'll show you them swatched out on my arm. And you can also get an idea of the texture of this product. Even though it says it's a liquid bronzer, it is not a runny liquid. It is almost like a gel cream formulation that is slightly thicker than a lotion type texture, but it's not like a thick, dense, viscous cream. It has a little bit of movement to it, but it's not runny at all, as you can see from the application of the swatches. It's more like a gel cream formulation because it's not as runny as you would expect a liquid to be. It is more of a thin lotion consistency. It does move and shear out a little bit, so it's not really dense and thick, but it's definitely not a runny or watery consistency. And these two shades that I picked up are a little bit more on the neutral brown side with a little bit of warmth to them. So these shades are definitely not too cool tone where they can read a little bit ashy or too gray on my warmer skin tone, and they're not red toned either, which can show up a little bit ruddy on my skin tone. These are a happy medium, they are more neutral, and they lean a little bit more on the caramel or warm tone side, so they definitely work well as a bronzer that can also double as a contour or bronzer shade. So now that we have gone through all those details, all that information, I think it is time that we go ahead and jump into the demonstration. All right, so let's go ahead and test out this product on our skin. And for the demonstration, I'm going to use all three of the application methods that they suggest. So we have the fingertips, a sponge, or a brush, and we're going to test out all three application methods, as well as applying this on bare skin. So they say it can be worn alone, so we'll test that out on one side of my face, and I'm also going to apply it over a layer of foundation just to see how it applies in both ways. And of course, I'm testing each of these shades individually and separately, but I will pop in comparison shots so you can see the shade differences and the undertone variance and determine which one may work best for your skin tone and your preferences. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. As I mentioned, we are applying this on bare skin, so this side of my face is completely bare, and on this side I have a very light layer of foundation. For the foundation, I am using my tried and true Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation in the shade Mocha. It is one of my best shade matches, and I find that it works really well to test out different formulations of liquid and cream products that you may layer over foundation. So let's go ahead and start out with the first shade, which is Shapeshift. It is the medium bronze shade, and I'm going to shake the tube as recommended. This product does separate, so you want to go ahead and shake it well, probably even work the product around in the tube before you dispense any product to minimize any separation. It says to get a drop of the product, so I'm just going to dispense a little on my palette. And for the brush application, I will be using a synthetic brush. This is from Anissa Beauty. It is their Buff-In Bronzer Brush, and it has a flat top, and I find it to work really well with cream and liquid products. So that's the one we'll use to apply this product. And let's start out with the brush application. I am just going to pick up the product on the tip of the bristles, and let's apply it on the bare side first. I will switch up the application for the other shade. So again, this is the medium bronze shade. I will zoom in just a bit so you can see the application a little bit more up close. So right away, I see great pigmentation from this product, and for it being the medium bronze shade, it's showing up pretty well on my skin, and the brush is applying it pretty evenly, no blotchiness. And I'll also grab a little bit and apply to my hairline, and I'll come down just a bit so you can see the application. So I'm just pouncing my brush on my skin to layer up and blend out the product. And then on my jawline, let's go ahead and just do slight blending motions to blend out the edges. Don't mind this spot right here, but you can see the product applied. That blended out really easily, really effortlessly, and I can still see a shadowy effect from the product. Now let's go ahead on the foundation side. I'm gonna pick it up on my finger this time and apply the product again on our jawline just to tap it out. And right away, this product feels kind of oily, very greasy. With the brush application, of course, I wasn't feeling that, and it blended in pretty easily and it felt lightweight. Right now, the greasiness is going away as I tap it out, which is a good thing. So it is absorbing into my skin and just leaving behind a beautiful hydrated finish. It isn't dewy, but it's also not matte. It's like a natural satin finish. And I'll feel to see if it has dried down on the bare skin side. And it does feel, yeah, it feels pretty dried down. No tackiness left behind. And it blended out well using my finger on the foundation side. Now let's try out on my hairline with this finger application. My preference is to use a brush when I'm using cream or liquid products, but I know a lot of people also like using their fingers just to make sure the product blends and melts in with the skin. And I think this product does do exactly that. It's blending in really well. I prefer the application on my hairline with my finger rather than on my jawline because I can't get the precision that I would get with a brush. So with the brush, I get a nice defined line, while on the side with my finger, it's a little bit more difficult to get a precise application. But again, maybe you're more comfortable using your fingers. I don't see a major difference with how the product blended out. I think it blended out well using either method. It was easy to apply, easy to blend. Now let's see if we can build up some dimension because this is supposed to be a buildable product. I'll start out with the brush side and just apply a bit at a time. Again, just trying to build up some definition, a little bit more pigmentation to see if we can get a little bit more color payoff. With the brush, it's going to absorb a little bit more of the product, so you may not get as much color payoff. Woo, I take that back because look at that. I can definitely see more color payoff, a lot more definition. And this color is working really great for my skin tone. It isn't very warm, so it's not orangey. It's a little bit more on the caramel side, but it also has a neutral undertone. If you can see that shadow that it's creating, that's because of a more neutral, more gray leaning undertone that will give that definition and shadowy cast. But it also is a little bit more on the brown side, a true brown version on a caramelly brown, like a yellow tone brown versus a red tone brown. And this is my preference for my complexion. Let's try to build it up with the finger on this side. Maybe I can get better at the application. Oh, got a line. So let's just tap that out. And again, it absorbs really easily on the brush side, but with the finger, I feel like it leaves a little bit of greasiness or tackiness behind. You have to keep tapping for it to really blend out, while the brush will absorb some of the product, so you don't have to worry about blending as much with the brush. And then on the hairline, I feel like it's easier to apply with your finger and blend out because you're just blending it backwards, so it's not such a big deal. So I definitely see the pigmentation built up. I definitely see the contour and bronze. Let's back it up so you can see this from a distance. So you'll see, okay, the application is not the best right now because I'm just demoing it so you can see the color. But you can see I have some dimension on my face. You see a little bit of bronzing, and on the bare skin side, it looks seamless with my skin. It doesn't look like it's just product sitting on my skin. And then on the foundation side, it blended in well with the product. It didn't cause any patchiness. It didn't lift my foundation. I like the color. I like the formulation. We'll see how it applies in a full face, but so far I'm liking this color for my skin tone. So let's go ahead and pop in the before and afters so you can see the transformation of my skin before and then after application of the product. And again, I think this product is beautiful. It's a very natural look. It looks seamless on my skin, but it adds a little bit of bronze glow, a little bit of color, also a little bit of contour into my jawline. And I think it really is effective. On the finger application side, it's a little bit more dewy, but the actual finish is matte. It doesn't feel tacky or sticky at all. It just has more of a glow with the finger application. And that of course is due to your finger not absorbing as much of the product as your brush does. So you're going to get a more matte finish from the brush application versus the finger application, but I think both sides were able to blend out beautifully. I was able to achieve a little bit more definition, a little bit more color payoff with the added layer of product. So I think it builds really well, but this color on my skin tone doesn't necessarily need to be built up because it does add that subtle definition that I'm looking for. But we're going to try out the deeper tone to see if that may be a better option for you. Either you have a richer, deeper complexion than I do and you're looking for, of course, a deeper shade, or maybe you're just looking for a deeper shade so you can get a little bit more impact from the product, and also the undertones will be slightly different. So let's go ahead and jump into the second shade. So the second shade up is Invincible, and it is described as a deep bronze. This is the deepest of the three shades, and I'm going to again apply it in two different ways. We're going to start out with a sponge application, and this time I'm going to apply it on the bare skin side with the sponge. Much deeper, much richer shade. So let's get some of that product along my hairline and temple. Ooh, this one is much richer, much deeper, and I'm happy that it is a richer shade and it's not just slightly richer than the medium. I think this will work great on a richer skin tone, but it doesn't go ultra deep, so we'll see how it builds up. I really don't want to build it up though because I feel like this is already a rich tone on my skin tone. So I would have to use this very sparingly if I use it as a contour, or I will reserve it for my hairline. The sponge is blending it out beautifully as I expected, and it's also absorbing some of the dewiness of the product, but it's blending out seamlessly and effortlessly. Like, look at that. The color, even though it was intense to start out with, I feel like it was easy to blend out and give me that beautiful slight contour. So I really like the sponge application so far. Let's go in with the brush application again on the foundation side this time. Again, a rich color, so I'm not going to pick up too much product, and we'll apply it to my hairline as well as the temple area. The brush again absorbs a little bit of the product, so it's a little bit quicker and easier to blend out. And you can do sweeping motions, tapping motions, blurring, buffing motions, but just tapping it out, it moves easily and blends out pretty easily on the skin. I have a little bit more intensity on the foundation side and with using the brush. And I think it still blends out pretty easily without looking too harsh on my skin. Oh, I like this. This one has a stronger neutral undertone, and I'm happy to report that it doesn't have a red cast, which I don't think a red undertone necessarily looks good on my skin tone. I think it's better to go neutral, even if you have a redder undertone to your skin, because a neutral tone will give you that cross between a contour and a bronzer, because I still think I'm getting warmth from the shade. As I blend it out, it looks a little bit warmer, but I still get that contour effect as well. I am liking this color as well. I thought it was going to be too intense, but as you blend it out, it really gives you a beautiful subtle contour. And again, this shade has a stronger neutral undertone, so it gives a little bit more of a shadowy effect, but I really like this as well. Let's pop in the before and after again so you can see the difference in my skin before application and after. And I think this looks beautiful. I am really liking how this product looks blended out on bare skin. It looks very natural. It feels very lightweight. It feels like nothing on my skin, and it blends out so easily and so seamlessly on the skin. It looks like I just got natural color. It doesn't look like I applied product to achieve this look. So I really like it on bare skin, and even over the foundation it looks very natural as well. And again, this shade itself is a little bit deeper, a little richer, and also a little bit more neutral, so it's going to give you more of a contoured look. But as you blend it out, it also has some warmth to it, so it's like a beautiful mix between a bronzer and a contour to give you that bronzer look, so you can get a little sculpting but also get that added warmth to your skin. Now let me also go ahead and show you what the two shades look like next to each other. Again, the medium shade is a beautiful brown shade with a little bit of neutral undertones. It leans a little bit on the caramel side, so it definitely adds some warmth to your skin. It gives a very subtle natural effect on my skin tone, and I really like how it looks. I also like the deep version because it gives me a little bit more impact. It has a little bit more of that contour feel to it. It has a little stronger neutral undertone, so I can definitely chisel out and carve out my face with this color. But I think both shades actually work really well on my skin tone, and they blend out easily, so you can share them out. It won't be as intense as the first application, but you can always build it up to get a little bit more dimension. So if you have a richer skin tone, you can definitely get more color payoff from these products. And again, they blend and build easily and effortlessly. So now you can see the difference between the two shades to determine which one may be better suited for your taste and your preferences. All right, so now let's go ahead and test out these bronzers in a full face application. So I've already applied my eyeshadow, obviously. You'll see this coming up, stay tuned. And I've gone ahead and applied foundation. I'm just using my NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. This is a pretty good foundation. I am using the shade Huahine. It is a beautiful shade match for me. I really like it. And I applied that just all over my skin. And then I went in with concealer under my eyes. Also a new concealer that I'm trying out. This is from Rose Inc. and I am using the shade LX140. So I applied that under my eyes and also on some hyperpigmentation spots just to cover and conceal and perfect my skin. Blended it out with a damp sponge. And then I went in again with my sponge and a loose setting powder to set the concealer in place under my eyes to help prevent it from creasing. And for setting my entire face, I'm going in with the Dior Backstage Face and Body Powder, No Powder. The shade I use is 4N Neutral. I'm not caking this powder on, I'm just giving a light dusting to set my foundation in place. Now let's go in with the gel bronzer, and I am going to use both of the shades, the medium and the deep, and I'll start out with the medium shade, and I'm actually using the Leia applicator for this. This is a silicone applicator, and I have a full review coming up, but I am still testing it out with liquid and cream products. So I will apply the medium shade as a contour color because I feel like this shade is much more subtle than the deep shade, and it works well with my skin to give just a subtle and natural contour. And this Leia tool won't absorb a lot of the product, and it acts as your finger would with this application. So not a lot of the product is absorbed, and it will help to blend it out really seamlessly on your skin. So here's the application with the medium shade as a contour, and we'll blend it out on this side as well. And what I found is you can allow this product to kind of sit on your skin a little bit, and while it sits on your skin just like a liquid concealer or a liquid foundation will, it will change consistency just slightly. Your skin will naturally absorb some of the liquid and it will be a little bit more pigmented. So if you wanted to just let it sit on your skin for a little bit, it doesn't dry down quickly. So just keep that in mind in case that's something that you want to play around with. But again, blends really easily, seamlessly. Now let's go in with the deep shade. And again, dotting it on my hairline. And I will just use the textured side of the applicator. So there is a smooth side and a textured side. The textured side is for blending. The smooth side you can use for application of product. And we'll just blend that out. Again, the product moves pretty easily, and this deeper, richer shade, I feel like it works better on my hairline because it blends in a lot more easily with my hair color and my scalp and gives a little bit of dimension. I'll apply a little bit more on the temple area just to give that added dimension and bronze glow. In fact, I feel like I really like this color, so I'm going to apply a little bit to the hollows of my cheeks as well over that lighter shade to give a little bit more contour. Again, this shade is more pigmented. It's a deeper, richer tone, so you don't have to go in with a lot. And I feel like the medium shade over my foundation, now that I've done a full application, may be a little too subtle for what I'm going for right now. I would use that every day if I'm going for a simple look, but since I have really intense eyeshadow right now, I want to go ahead and deepen up that contour. Again, very subtle, but the bronzers I feel like give a nice kiss of color. They're very subtle, very natural. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my makeup and I'll be right back to give you my final thoughts. All right guys, so I am back and I finished up the look. So the eyes are absolutely amazing. Again, check out my video for this look. But since this video is about the liquid bronzers, let's dive into that. I really love how subtle this looks on my skin. And the two shades actually work really well for my skin tone and for my preferences. These don't lean red at all, which I was hoping they didn't, and they succeeded in that. They lean a little bit more on the neutral side with a hint of warmth, which means they can double as a contour and a bronzer. As I blend it out on my hairline and on my temples, I get a little bit added warmth and glow. If you can tell, like, it looks like I was out in the sun and I got a tan on my hairline. It looks very natural and it blends in with my skin tone. But if I apply it to the hollows of my cheeks, I get a little dimension, like, get into that, right? Like a little contour, but it's not too extreme. And one thing you can do when you apply these, which I also did off camera, is grab a little bit of your setting powder and apply it right under the contour line. And that's going to intensify and kind of draw a little bit more attention to the actual contour without adding like a deeper color. So that's one way to get a little bit more definition from these shades. And I love how they build up. I love how they look on the skin. I was a little bit apprehensive when I first swatched them out because when you just swatch them, they look very dewy, very wet, very emollient, and I was like, absolutely not. Now they aren't shimmery or glittery at all. There's no sparkle to them, but they're very dewy. They look very wet. So I was so apprehensive about applying it on my skin because I have oily skin and I don't like too glowy or too dewy of a finish on my skin. But these actually blend out and merge with your skin really well. And they don't leave behind any tacky, sticky finish, which again, I was worried about. So I do really enjoy the finish of these and they look very skin-like. And as you guys saw in the demonstration, when I applied it over bare skin, it blended so seamlessly and effortlessly into my skin that it didn't look like I was wearing any makeup or any product at all on my skin. It looked like my skin with a little added warmth and a little added bronze, but you couldn't tell at all. And that to me is what I look for in a product like this. If you're wearing a liquid or a cream product, the intention is for it to look as natural as possible on your skin. And I think this formulation really accomplishes that without leaving behind that dewy finish that I was nervous about. In fact, you can see it on my hairline. It looks like a natural glow. It doesn't feel sticky at all, like I said. It doesn't feel tacky. It just feels like, oh, that's my natural skin, but it doesn't set matte. So if you touch it, it will move a little bit. Like if you touch it, you will get a little bit of transfer, and that's with any liquid product, so I don't mind. And I'm not going to set it down, but you can set it down with powder to make sure it doesn't transfer as much. But just be mindful of that. It doesn't set down to a flat finish where it won't transfer at all. So there's still that kind of unset, natural, moist finish, if you will. So don't expect it to be completely transfer proof. And overall, I really like the effect that it gives to my skin and how it looks. And it was also very easy to apply and work with. So as far as application, wear, and the appearance of it, I really do like it. As for the skincare ingredients and the benefits, I can't vouch for that long term as I'm not using this as a skincare product, but I do like that it has those added skincare benefits because it feels very comfortable on my skin and it looks really nice. My skin does not feel dry, doesn't look dry, and when I remove it, because I've worn it quite a few times to test it out, after removal, my skin again feels comfortable. So even though I wouldn't rely on this for skincare benefits, I do like that it has those added perks because, I mean, who can't benefit from hyaluronic acid and a little bit of collagen here or there, right? Am I right? I'm just saying. Now, with me saying all those positive things about this product, I want to bring up a couple of cons or a couple of drawbacks that I already encountered with the product. First up, the packaging. Now, it's a liquid bronzer and it's from Milk Makeup, so I expected this type of tube packaging. It makes sense for the formulation. However, I feel like they could have done this a little bit more effectively for ease of use. So when you unscrew it, it's a regular screw top applicator, right? And you're supposed to dispense this product on a palette, on the back of your hand, however you apply these liquid products. This is not really convenient for dispensing product because of the top of the tube. For me, it would have been much better to have like a nozzle type applicator so I could get precision, I could get the exact amount of product that I wanted, and I could even try to apply it directly to my skin. It would have been easier with this type of packaging. Now, it doesn't make it unusable at all, it's just less convenient, and I feel like I waste more product because of the dispense method. So I wish it had a nozzle applicator. Another way they could have packaged this is with a doe foot applicator so you can dot it onto your face. I think that would have also been a convenient way to do it. And I can see pros and cons to having a doe foot applicator, but it still would have been my preferred method of application over having this style packaging. So that's one thing I wish they had done differently. Another thing is the price point. It's $30, okay? That is a steep price point, and you get a decent amount of product. It's 17 milliliters or 0.6 fluid ounce. So you're getting a little bit more than a half size of a full foundation. A full size foundation is 1 fluid ounce. So you're getting more than half the size of a foundation, but I feel like $30 is pushing it. Now, I get that this isn't a foundation, but you're still going to use a decent amount of this as a liquid bronzer because a bronzer is one of those products that you apply a little bit more liberally to your face because you're putting it on your hairline, dusting it down your jawline, a little bit on your chin maybe. So you're going to go through this product a little bit more quickly than you would like a highlighter or a blush. So the price point for me versus the amount of product you're getting, I wish it wasn't that way, but I mean, it still fits in line with the price point from Milk. So I'm here or there with the price point. I just wish it was more like $27. It would have been a little bit more easy to swallow. I'm not swallowing it, but do what you do. So price point wise, I'm not the happiest, but I don't think it's like overly expensive either. So that's just kind of a slight con. Other than that, I like this product and I would repurchase it and I've been enjoying it so far. One tip though that I will mention is that you need to shake it, okay? Shake this product up each time you use it. Work it around in the packaging before you even open the cap because it does separate really quickly. And to their credit, Milk does mention that because of the natural nature of the formulation, it will separate a little bit more readily than other formulations. So make sure that you shake it really well because it's not a matter of will it separate. It definitely will separate and you want to avoid getting that pre-ejaculation. That's too much, but it really seems like that. You get that initial flow of like a clear glossy liquid that the pigment kind of separated from. So make sure that you shake it well. Don't even question me, okay? With all that being said, I really like the product. I enjoyed using it and I will continue to use it, and this highlighter is giving me life. You let me know what you think. You saw the demonstration, you saw the swatches, you saw the application. You're now seeing it in a full face of makeup. What do you think? How does it look? Do I look nice and sculpted? I am telling you, I'm really enjoying my face makeup right now, so let me know what you guys think. I will leave details of this product down below, as well as the other products that I used on my face, along with links on where you can pick them up. Now, those links, if they have an asterisk next to them, that means that they are affiliate links, which means I will get a small sales commission if you make a purchase through my links. That's an easy way to support the channel. It doesn't change the retail price. It just gives me a small kickback for putting you on. So please consider using my links because it does help me to put right back into the channel. So I appreciate your support. But if you're not comfortable with that, just shop the way you normally shop. No muss, no fuss. I'm still happy you're here watching. But if you do use my links, thank you so much for showing your support. I truly appreciate it. And I will also leave links to my Instagram and Twitter, which should be following me along. We have fun there. And until my next video, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you. Bye, guys.